Hey, welcome back to the channel and to the first installment of Lessons from a Lick Thief, where we steal the musical ideas of somebody great for our own. Today in our crosshairs, we have the great blues guitar player Matt Schofield, and the wares that we are going to pillage from him are from his performance on everybody's favorite gear channel, That Pedal Show. Okay, the part of that clip that we're going to learn is the part that goes like this. I'll play that one more time slowly. All right, so one important thing to clarify before we really dive into that is that the context of this performance is obviously Matt playing solo, no bass, no drums. He's just outlining the changes, demonstrating his tone, you know the deal. As a result of this, he has a lot of freedom to play with time as he so chooses, and he does utilize that liberty. The chord changes in the blues progression are not passing in the same predictable increments of time that we're used to when we're playing with a drummer and a bass and other musicians, and it's required so that everybody can play together. Here, the chord transitions when Matt is done with the musical idea that he's establishing. And so this is important because it's difficult to tell whether that lick that we're highlighting, which is starting over the 4 chord, which is a D7, because we're in the key of A, is ending with the 4 chords still happening underneath, or if it's moved on to the A7 chord, back to the 1. And part of the reason why it's difficult to tell is because it does end on an A, which is a chord tone in both chords. So as you learn this, just try it out in a few different places over the 4 chord and make an assessment as to what you like the best and just use it that way. But now let's dive into precisely what he's doing. The real meat of this phrase and what makes it stand out, I think, is what he starts with, which is this. And it sounds different because it is different. He's playing a C major 7 over the D7, which is certainly an unconventional harmony in the blues, but it works. It sounds good. It sounds outside the chord tones, but not drastically. It's still sweet. It's still consonant, and it resolves quickly. It just turns the ear just for a moment and then brings you back home. So the home base for that opening little phrase is just this C major triad, and which he outlines like this. And he slides into it from the major 7th, from the B, which would be the 9th fret on the D string, into the 10th fret on the D string, then the 9th fret on the G string, and the 8th fret on the B string. And then he's going to kind of grace note on this A, which is the 10th fret of the B string, and slide into that major 7th. Which is the 12th fret of the B string. And once he's there, he does something that he'll repeat later in the sequence, which is slide up to the 13th fret on the B string, back down to the 12th fret of the B string, and then pull off to the 10th. So 10th fret. All right, you got that? So what we're working with so far is... And then we're going to get the 12th fret on the G string, which is a G, and walk it to here, 11th fret on the G string, in kind of this BB box world. And then he's just playing this D major triad shape. So really what he's doing is bringing out this sound. From there, he gets the E, and then slides up again to the F sharp 14th fret on the E string. And then just like we did this here, we do that here as well. Except here it's slide from the 14th fret to the 15th fret to the 14th fret, and then pull off to the 12th. All right, so. And then you're basically done. Then he just hits F sharp, 14th fret on the E string, and ends on 17th fret on the E string. Again, the A, which could either be the 5th of the 4 underneath or the 1 of the 1 underneath. And if you find that the 4 chord is still playing, you're right here in a nice spot to play over a D. And if it's the 1, you're sort of right in this pentatonic equator world where the 5th position's down here and 1st position's up here. Whatever you want to do. All right, so one more time. All right, if you found this at all helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, if you gave me a sub so that you can see when I create more videos like this. Then the next thing I would tell you to do is go check out Matt Schofield's True Fire courses. That's a great way to support blues musicians, guitar players. It's a great product and the musicians make pretty good money off of it. Further to the point, it's a wonderful way to understand what these players are doing. In fact, I have a video out where I review Matt Schofield's first ever True Fire course called Blues Speak. I learned every solo, every note in every solo, and I detail exactly how that impacted my playing, how my playing changed from before I learned all of that Matt Schofield material to what happened after I learned it all. So check that out. There should be a card up here. The link will be in the description as well as links to his True Fire. And furthermore, if you can think of a little passage played by a guitar player that you love that you would like to see broken down in this style, just let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, thank you for watching.